Hey everybody, I'm very excited because this is a video I've been looking forward to for quite a while, one of many, but here we go. The Dark Trails Bootleg Edition rules are finally out in PDF and print on Drivethrurpg. This is the game by David Beatty, my friend, and we've been working on this for quite a while. He's been working on it for way longer. It's a game that is Weird West and compatible with DCC RPG, and in essence used a modified version of the DCC rule set. So this is the bootleg edition. It's in essence a quick start, but we wanted to not call it that because it's 191 pages. So it's taken us quite a while to put it all together. I know that he's been working on it like a fiend, but this is the cover. It will not be the cover of the main book. The main book will be done by San Julian, and of course there will be a leather limited edition version of the book as well. You can still back it on the Kickstarter. I'll have the link below, and of course you can go back and look at the videos and stuff that I've talked about it. But we're going to get into this, not too long, just kind of show you what you can expect with the quick start, the bootleg edition, should you pick it up. So let's take a look. We've got here, let's go back, this is the beginning of the table of contents. You can see here it's going to have everything you need listed out. You're going to have every single class that's available in Dark Trails, but it will only be 2 levels for them or so, and it won't have all their powers or magic because we really wanted you to be able to not get too swamped with the powers and all the spells, but it's going to be enough for you to be able to play your own games. And as well as there is as you can see here at the bottom, there is a sample adventure called Death Crawls West, which Pete Spawn from Small Niche Games, a good buddy of ours, and myself, and we worked together on the adventure, and it will also be featured in the main core rulebook, as well as another adventure I believe will also be in there. So magic, charts and tables, everything you need. Again, quite large, and it's going to start off with a small introduction here about the 7 Days of Night. In essence, in 1865, this is an alternate ending to the Civil War. Nyarlathotep pretty much sees the opportunity to awaken all his elder god brothers and sisters. Helped with a cabal of cultists, they take the Necronomicon into the desert, where for a week-long period of time there was 7 days of night. And during this time, all sorts of nasty things came into the world. But luckily, they were stopped by a group of Texas Rangers and a modern-day Knights Templar. They were able to stop them. The Necronomicon was shredded pretty much and scattered to the wind. And the earth tried to kind of heal itself through ley lines. And in essence, it pulsed magic throughout the land. And it imbued people with supernatural superpowers, pretty much. So they are kissed by the supernatural, and they are, of course you can read there, a player, you assume the role of one of these heroes, fighting against an ever-growing ancient evil that's found purchased in a wounded country, still recovering from what would become the bloodiest war in American history. So just a little thing there, and then, like DCC, if you've seen that, you're going to have your selection of occupations. Of course, they're going to be themed around the Wild West, and Pinkerton agents, authors, jugglers, librarians, salesmen you can read there, and of course the weapon and the trade good that they're going to have, everything you know from that. So I'm going to spotlight a couple things that are a little bit different with DCC. Not go into them too big though. So in DCC, for alignment, in essence, you have the path system. Pretty much you have the righteous and the damned, and of course the righteous are going to be more towards good stuff, the damned more towards evil, and then you'll be straddling or walking the line between those two. So what that's going to entail is the fact that there's going to be a lot of people that are the damned, and the ones that walk in the righteousness will be, of course, in smaller numbers. But it's going to help you. And in essence, we didn't want something like, lawful, neutral, chaotic, but something that you could actually sway in your adventures, whether or not you follow the path of the righteous or not, whether or not you follow the path of the damned. And there are benefits to both, should you want those. That type of character, because we really wanted you to be able to play those characters, and I know David did, where it's questionable about the things that they do in such a lawless type of land that they're in. So not too much into that. So let's get into the first character class. This is this here is going to be the Bedlamite. This is going to be your kind of weird technology and stuff like that. They're going to have wondrous contraptions and a great piece of art there that I absolutely love. So you might have seen this before, kind of a character class that's in Deadlands, but it's done again here to much deadlier results, in my opinion, with all sorts of unique wondrous contraptions that were absolutely fantastic to create. The next class is going to be the Calavera. This is going to be someone who can talk to the dead and see the dead. I love the character class. Everybody's seen the Sugar Skull, and it just has a great aesthetic to it. Love that piece of art. Of course, that's the art that's on the front. Next is going to be the Gambler. They kind of have a lucky or like a magical sense about their chances in life and in this new world. So there it is there. They're obviously quite skilled at gambling, and they will have their powers as well. The next could be the Gunslinger. Their weapons are in essence fused with power, souls if you wish. Going to make them very deadly in combat, great at fanning the hammer, and just overall going to be a really great combat-oriented class. Next is going to be your Luchador, which I played a Luchador and I absolutely love it. Their masks are very powerful. They are powered by kind of a spirit, and it's just very fun to play a Luchador. You'll start looking at your phone, start looking at different types of wrestling moves, because every single move you're going to be able to pull off. This is definitely kind of like the Warrior class in DCC, where you're going to be adding to your attack and to your damage, and you're just going to be wrecking fools out there. It's very fun to be able to and visualize what moves you're doing with the Luchador. Love it. The Montebank is going to be your character class for making strange elixirs and potions and stuff like that. Again, a very fun class to write up their different elixirs, and more of course, your magic and stuff like that, changing yourself, and kind of a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type situation. This is your Mystic Monk. I love that piece of art. It's probably just one of my favorites in the book. Of course, there you're going to have a lot, again, kind of like the Luchador, special powers and abilities in martial arts to just wreak havoc on your foes. Another fun melee type character. This is going to be your Occultist, and of course that art there, someone that you should recognize. This is going to be your main spell user. Very strong, powerful spells, able to spell burn, like you know from DCC, and overall just a great class. This is going to be your Revelator. This is going to be your healing type class. They cast miracles, which I am in the currently in the throes of working on the stretch goals for those, as well as other people. This is going to be your healer, and of course your person of faith. And love that piece of art. Just looks great. I love her dual wielding those. Next is going to be your Sin Eater. This is an interesting character class. A lot of people say it kind of looks like the assassins from Assassin's Creed, but this is in essence someone who has died, and they've been brought back to life to help bring the dead across into the underworld, pretty much. Cool character class, a lot of cool abilities, and they can be someone that's actually quite old. You can see he's got flintlock pistols. The next is the Tommyknocker. This is going to be someone who, again, has died and come back as pretty much a sentient, living undead. I guess kind of funny, but they're going to have a whole bunch of different types of things that have changed their bodies, and different kind of rules for how they work and how they heal and how they do stuff. So a little bit different, but again, the Sin Eater and the Tommyknocker, should your character die, they can in the funnel they can come back as one of those two classes. So even if you might like that character that you rolled up, there's still a chance for them to come back. Again, section on rules, you know this from DCC, the easy DCC, the DC numbers. Great piece of art there. I just wanted to show that. I absolutely love that, kind of from these ghoul-looking dudes' perspective in this saloon. And I'll be showing more art like that. So, rules on reloading your gun and how that's going to play out. And then one of the main mechanics is the gun deck. Pretty much every time that you shoot a gun, you're going to have to pull from a deck of cards. And what you draw, if you draw a face card, it's either going to help you or it could hinder you, should it be one of the black-faced cards. So cool rules right there you can read about. It talks about reshuffling your gun deck and how you work it, from pulling a joker and from drawing the dreaded Dead Man's Hand, should that happen to you. So it's a very cool mechanic, and everybody that has a gun will be playing with a gun deck. So no one's left out should you be using one of those. So as you can see there, flipping any of the number cards has no effect, but flipping a black or red suited face card results in good fortune for the attacker. Face cards offer a one-time bonus in attack and damage. So in essence, if you pull a jack, you get +1 to attack and damage. And if you pull a king, you get +3 to both of those. And again, it says there, aces and eights, a Dead Man's Hand spell disaster for the attacker, in which your gun misfires, and sometimes to deadly results. Boon and hexes are going to be the next thing. Pretty much whenever you roll a 20 or you roll a 1, when you roll a 20 you get a boon, and you can use that for various effects, and of course hexes can be used as well. They also hurt you when it comes to a lot of the luck mechanic in the game. Having more hexes, of course, will make you more unlucky. So very good new cool rules about that. So we're going to switch over now to this part here. This is the part on magic. And you can see here the Mercurial Magic Table that the art there is done by Peter Mullen that goes around, and kind of one side's for cultists and kind of one side's for the good guys. I wrote a lot of these Mercurial magic effects. I absolutely love writing them. They're just super fun for when you cast a spell and how that might affect your character uniquely. So you can see there, I love Taffy Teeth, where your teeth turn into taffy. Avian Hatred, where all birds come and try to attack you when you cast the spell. There's one called BO, where pretty much your body odor just ramps up through the roof, and it's very offensive. Just super fun to create. So this is how some of the spells and stuff is. This is actually a wondrous contraption. The Wound Stitcher is something that I created. In essence, it's a fist-sized mechanical contraption that somewhere sits on your body. It can take on various manifestations. So those were really fun to create, between little tiny like mechanism that looks like maybe a spider, or it looks like a centipede, or it looks like maybe a octopus that goes, and whenever it senses that your body has taken damage, it quickly travels across your body to try to heal that wound. So very fun to come up with. A little bit more art there with some of the character classes, and some cultists there. The Luchador, the Calavera, and the Bedlamite. Here is, of course, there's many critical charts for blunt, weapon, anything you can think of. Pretty much there's a bunch of fun critical hit charts that you'll be using. This is a section here on the equipment, and a lot of this art will be, of course, in the core rule book. And this is just a main, I'm not going to show you much about it. I'm just going to show you kind of the art. I love that piece there of this drifter that's come into town to buy stuff. And there'll be a whole selection of different type of guns and stuff. And a lot of those weapons will have different type of traits, such as being able to trip somebody, or they're slow to reload. And again, some more art of shooting some of the Walking Dead there. And then here's the adventure, Death Crawls West. I'm not going to leave that up very long because it's going to have a lot of things. But again, we created that. It's a very meaty type of adventure to get started with a wagon train that's going to be traveling out west. And it gives you the opportunity to be able to switch over to other characters should they die, as you just grab somebody else that's on the wagon train headed out to the frontier. So lots of different types of events that you could your players can either encounter or not encounter. So you can play it multiple times, and you can run different encounters for them. You can either roll them right up there at the table, or be prepared ahead of time. Go ahead and roll those up, and then get prepared for those. And so it's gonna be for the quick start, well, the bootleg edition, it's gonna be something that you can play multiple times and have different things happen in it. Here's the funnel sheet for Dark Trails. It's going to have your grit on there, and a grit's going to help you with fear and madness. And you'll be able to read more about that in the rules. But it's just a way for you to stave off the horrors that have now been unleashed on the world. And so there they are. There it shows you what's going to constitute a grit check, how you make one, and how it can make you start to develop madnesses and finally go insane. So we're back to that. So let's go. Obviously, there's much more in the book to tell you about, but didn't want this to be too long. Of course, the main book is going to have it's going to be so much bigger, so much stuff. The bestiary section is just going to be absolutely massive with tons of art. And the hope right now is for all of the add-on golds for the bestiary, is each one of those creatures is going to have a piece of art that's been ordered now. So a little bit of a delay on that, but I can't wait for you guys to see it. So so if you want to get this and pick it up and take a look at it, I've got the link down in the description. You can go check it out there. And hopefully it'll give you a little bit of taste that'll have you want to play more of it and get the core book whenever it's out. So like always, I appreciate you watching my videos. Please like and subscribe. Every single like, every single subscription makes me know that there's someone out there that likes my videos, and it makes me want to make more for you. So again, this has been a very great video for me to tell you about, and a great product that's out there. It is available for print, and again, this is not something that's going to be small once you get it. 191 pages is more than a lot of some other rule books, complete core rule books. So it's got lots of art, and you'll have a lot more in the core rule book, of course, once you get that. I actually can't wait to see how many actual pieces are going to be in it. So thank you for watching my video. Stay tuned for the next one. I hope to have it up sooner, always sooner than later. But there is a lot of work to be done still on Dark Trails, and I got to get to it. So again, thanks.